Good morning, everybody. It's the Savage Stacker. Once again, please excuse the lighting. I still haven't had a chance to go down and get light bulbs. I'm going to go do that today. I've been taking care of a bunch of doctor stuff, so I really didn't have time yesterday. And still was kind of feeling under the weather yesterday, so I rested up a little bit. All right, so there's no secret that we are in the midst of horrible inflation right now, and I know they keep trying to pass along saying that the inflation numbers are getting better, but the way that they're figuring these numbers just aren't right, and we all know that. They're not including things like fuel and electricity, any kind of energy stuff, and food. Food is probably the number one thing right now that is very, very expensive. We all see it, we all know it. And I just want to know, how did that affect your stacking this year? Usually this time of year, we're going into the winter months here, and it just started raining pretty good yesterday, and my season's, it's at a halt, it's done. So it's going to give me more time to do videos, but stacking for the year is pretty much going to come to an end. But I did okay this year, but not as much as normal. So I have collected, and they're in my truck. I should have got them out, but I didn't, and I'm not going out there right now because it is storming, and it's also 3 in the morning like normal. But I have receipts upon receipts upon receipts from fuel and the grocery store and all these things, just to prove or show myself how much more I'm paying for groceries or fuel from the previous year. And I have probably 3 years worth of receipts stacked up, and I've looked at them, and things like eggs and milk and just everything is way more than 6 to 9% over what it was, say, in 2019, 2020. And we all know it, we all see it, and just the lies that come through about inflation are just, it's sickening, and people are having a rough time. And like the video I made yesterday, which is just me getting back into doing this video thing and getting comfortable with the camera again. So I kind of rambled on a little bit, but they're talking about it out there. Everybody is talking about it. It's not just on YouTube or on social media. It is everywhere. People are concerned. And I just want to know how that affected everybody's stacking this year. Normally, about this time of year, I've added 5 or 6 more ounces of gold, another 1,000 ounces of silver for the year, and at least 500. And I will tell you, this year, I couldn't buy half the things that I wanted to get. I mean, I just couldn't. I'm looking at my fuel costs for my pickup just to get to work and back every day. It was like $30 a day. And you add that up times 5, right? And you got $150 a week, right? Times 2 is 300, times 2 is 600. So I'm spending $600 a month on fuel. And years previous, that was probably $200 a month. And so I am paying a lot more in fuel. I am paying a lot more in groceries, and I just was not able to stack as much silver as gold that I would like to do. This year, I'm under an ounce of gold. I got a couple quarter ounces and a couple 10th ounces of gold this year. I went pretty heavy on silver, but silver just seemed to be the better buy this year. It kept dropping, and when it pulled back to whatever it was, $21 an ounce, and there's a few of you out there that are like, that's not a pullback, that's not a pullback. Well, if we get a pullback back to $18, $17 an ounce, that's not a pullback. That is tragedy is what that is, because silver should be much higher than it is. And if we get a $2 or $3 pullback like that, to me, that's significant. And I will definitely be trying to purchase as much as I can. But this year, I wasn't able to back up the truck like I could. I bought 2 or 3 10-ounce bars, a quarter ounce of gold, a couple of little knickknacks, and I got that as well, and that was not too cheap. The pullback did help a little bit, but it wasn't great. But the amount of silver normally at this time of year is a chunk, a nice, healthy chunk. And I was only able to add 1 buffalo to the stack this year. Oh, so I am over an ounce. I bought 1 buffalo and 2 quarter ounces and 1 10th ounces of gold this year. Normally, I would have 6 more buffaloes in the stack. And it looks like it's going to take me some time. Oh, that's a proof buffalo. I took out of the other capsule and put it in one of these capsules because I'm trying to get to a full tube of buffaloes. And I know if I keep spending money on silver, I'm not going to be able to do that. But one day in my lifetime, I will have a full tube of buffaloes. We're going to call it the Buffalo Bazooka. And then we're almost there. We're at 12. I have 12 buffaloes. And I'd like to go trade in my eagles and stuff and get some more buffaloes because I just want a tube of buffaloes. But yeah, I did buy 1 full ounce buffalo this year and a couple quarter ounces and a couple 10th ounces. But normally I have spent probably twice as much on silver and gold that I did this year. I mean, it slowed me down quite a bit. And that's because I was looking at the money I had and my budget and looking at how much things cost. And I had to lower my budget for silver and gold because the price on everything else is just so much higher. So I was not able to get even half of what I normally do each year. So I was probably able to put up another 16 grand this year. Normally I put up twice that. And I'm not gloating. I'm not saying that, everybody can do that, but my target is usually 25 for the year. And that is my savings account. That is everything usually goes into metals. And the reason why that is because I won't touch it. And I'll save it. And this year I just couldn't do that. I just could not do that. Usually I don't talk numbers on here, but I'm just trying to, express how much less I was able to stack this year compared to previous years. And that's because of inflation. That's the only reason. It isn't because we got into debt or we had a big bill show up or something happened or anything like that. Nope. That is just because the food cost and fuel cost are up that much more that I had to be a little more cautious in my stacking because I didn't want to not be able to pay for fuel to get to work or put my family out, because then it's adverse effect that I'm selling this stuff to get by versus buying this stuff to save and keep us ahead later on down the road. So I am nearly half of what I would normally stack for this year because of the price of all our goods and services. And that sucks. When we went to Hawaii, I brought a significant amount of money with us thinking that, and it's twice as much as I would normally bring to Hawaii. I haven't been there in like 13 years. So I knew prices would be up because the island is very expensive, but I brought double what I normally would. And we blew through that so fast. I was like, wow, it is very expensive. And we had some amazing people on the island, locals, take care of us. Like, we didn't pay for any of our snorkeling equipment. Should have been about $200 for the week. And the lady used to live in Santa Cruz, and she's like, oh man, you guys are like family, dude. Oh, I'm gonna pay for this. She pulled out her own credit card and swiped it and paid for our snorkeling equipment. So I saved $200 right there. And then we had family there come with us, and they paid for dinner a couple nights. So we saved money there. And even with all that stuff happening, people being kind and all that stuff, still blew through that money like it was nothing. I mean, I so underestimated the prices of things in Hawaii that we blew through it quick. And just the rental car, just for me to get the rental car for the week was $850. The long-term parking was $200. We haven't even started our vacation yet. I've already spent over $1,000. Just the money for lunch and stuff while we're waiting for our flight, another $150. So we had spent $1,200 before we even started a day in Hawaii. And I was like, holy cow, that is impressive. So yeah, things are super expensive out there. We all know it. Don't really even have to talk about it, but I just want to know how that affected everybody this year in your stacking. I had gotten some good deals this year. I got a great deal on this 25-ounce bar right here. I paid way under spot on this bar, and I got some deals on quite a few things this year, and let me tell you, it still didn't help out much. It just didn't. Things are just so expensive. And I wish I had my receipts out here so we could compare what we were paying, like, say, even 2 years ago. But they're saying inflation's going down, but it is not going down. It is not. I look at it like this. If they have a 2% target for inflation each year, and it was at 9%, say it's been going on 3 years, that would be 6%. So they're saying our target now, right, our inflation numbers are at 4 or 5%. But the truth is it's still up there. They're just knocking off that 2% that it's supposed to grow every year off the bottom. That's all they're really doing. And inflation's not getting better. It's getting worse, and they're not calculating the stuff that actually matters to us, food and fuel and energy cost and all those things, which for us, the public, the regular people, those are the only things that really matter to us is food. For one, food is what we need to survive, right? Food, water, roof over our head, and clothing, and a way to stay warm or stay cool, or a way to get to work. Those are the things that really matter to us, and those are the numbers they're not putting in the inflation numbers. So how does that work out? I mean, it really doesn't. It's really a botched game here. You know, they're really trying to keep things on the wraps, and as soon as somebody does the real calculation and it comes out publicly, just imagine what that's going to do to silver and gold. People are in fear. People are concerned. The public and everybody is talking about it. And, you know, somebody made a comment yesterday that came by here and said, yeah, in the silver stacking community or in the stackers, that there's always a tragedy going on or something. There's always, the end of the world's always going to happen. And I was going to comment back something shitty and be like, look, this isn't just in the stacking community where things are happening. Have you looked at your grocery bill lately? But it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. And you can't hide from it. You know, people are concerned. And these people aren't broke people. These are people that have money. And I'm at breakfast, I'm listening to them, and I'm like, wow, these people are just tripping, right? Because their good time in life may be coming to an end. Some of these people live way outside of their means, and all they use is credit cards, and they got this $20,000 credit card, and it's just maxed out, and they know if the money quits flowing in, things get expensive, the economy takes a dump, they are going to have to be fitted for that bill. And that ain't going to be me. You know, I try to keep my cards. I didn't use my credit card not one time on the island, and I didn't want to. I made sure that I had it with me in case something happened, you know, God forbid. And we got stuck out there for a while, because I know people that have been stuck on that island for a week, couldn't go home, things like that. And, you know, I'm glad there wasn't a big storm, because that would have, you know, I know people have gotten stuck on the island for a big storm before, and had to wait for the airlines to be able to open back up. But thankfully that didn't happen. Sorry, I'm coffeeed up. So I had the credit card with me, but didn't use it. Tried not to use it, and I try not to use my cards. You know, I use them very seldomly, just to keep the account open and to show that I'm using some kind of credit. You know, because if you don't, it doesn't matter if you got good credit and then you got 5 credit cards, but you never use them, your credit score will go down, because they need you using a little bit of that credit. So, but we didn't use the cards out there. I have used it since I came back, and for fuel, and I just pay it right back off. But I do one payment of $25 and go through that first month, so it shows I'm making a payment, responsibility, right? They like to see that on credit. Then the next month I'll pay it back off, and that's what I do. That way it shows that you're using your card, because if you use your card and then go and pay it off the same day or the same week, it's just like never using your card, because you never actually got a bill, right? So you got to let it set for a minute. But yeah, we tried really hard not to use our cards out there, and my wife, she was just swiping away, just swiping. But we'll get that paid off, and you know, do our, do our finances here at the end of the year, make sure that we're caught back up. But yeah, we went through a lot of money out there. I mean, not just me, but my wife, and the cost of going out there was not horribly bad, but it was expensive. And everybody out there on that island, man, I mean, it didn't matter where you went. We went to Wailea, and there's like Tiffany's and Prada and all those shops out there on this one side of the island, which I don't normally go to because that's not my style. Even if I was rich, I still wouldn't go hang out at those stores. It's just not my thing. But my wife wanted to go check out a couple places, and so we went over there and checked out, where did she go? There's a certain store out there she likes, and she went to go check it out. And because for some reason, like Coach and all that stuff out there on the island, they're cheaper than here. I don't know why that is, but for some reason, people that like that kind of stuff buy it out there because it's cheaper. I don't know why, but we went and just checked it out, and I just couldn't wait to get out of there. But even there, we sat down at this table, was drinking my nice fancy little coconut macadamia nut coffee that I got at the Maui Coffee Roasters. And even there, we're talking chicks with their dudes that are just, Rolex watches and stuff like that. And even those people were sitting there going, can you believe the price of everything? This island cost me twice as much as it did last year, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's just, and they're like, inflation this and banks failures that, and even the rich folks are getting worried. So that worries me even more, because I am not one of those people. I'm struggling always, or at least I like to perceive it that way. So when the struggle comes, I'm used to it already. So yeah, anyways, I'm rambling on. How did you guys do with stacking this year? Did inflation affect your stacking? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you everybody for coming by. It is the Savage Stacker. Remember to hit that bell icon so you get updated on my latest videos. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Savage Stacker is over and out.